Okay, guys, welcome back to the swamp. This is the Ogre and the Ass podcast. Eric, how you doing, bro?
Pretty good, actually. Pretty good.
Yeah, dude. Today's been a Monday. I'll give it that. But I've been really looking forward to today's podcast.
Yes. So have I.
So
how the tables turned.
Oh, how the turns table. So in this particular podcast, I know something we've wanted to do for a while is just tell some of our stories, like just some of the adventures we've been through, some things we've been gone through together. And this is, man, I think, we have a few stories about this one place in particular, but we're going to talk about a great destination called Rexburg, Idaho.
The Berg.
The Berg. Yes. For anyone who has never heard of Rexburg, Idaho, maybe this is the first time you've ever heard of this place. It is a small little college town filled with Mormons. Mm-hmm. And I have never been in more of a bubble in my life because you have nothing from the outside. First off, let me just tell you, like when Eric and I lived there, Eric was a commodity. He was like one of five. Okay. And for those of you who don't watch our YouTube channel, you'll be able to tell very quickly, well, Eric's a little darker than most.
And in Rexburg, I was literally the night sky.
Saying, hey, midnight. So... And we just want to talk about this for a while because we had so much fun up in Rexburg, even though it was a miserable place.
Oh, yeah. The dunes was the best part.
I don't know. I think some of our stories are pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, kind of jumping into this again. So Rexburg, a small little town just for college, for BYU, Idaho.
Population's probably like, what, 5,000?
Well, I don't know because during school time, man, I have no clue. Like during probably fall semester, it could be 10,000. I don't know.
But you can like walk in and out within like less than an hour.
Oh, the city's like 3 square miles.
Yeah,
That's it.
Like super small.
Oh, yeah. And it probably had a total of like 15 stoplights. Not a big city. And every city surrounding it is way smaller. It's pretty bad. So talking about why we were even in Rexburg, Idaho, let's just talk about first like getting there. So I was going up there for college at the time. And Eric... I think we just talked you into going.
Yeah.
You didn't have a job lined up. You didn't have anything. You're just like, I'm going.
It was very stupid. But I wanted to get out of California, though.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Modesto.
Yeah, we were stuck in Modesto, California, wanted to leave. Don't put that back on the table, man. It's going to make more noise. So.
Take my time, so this is so damn sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So we were leaving Modesto, California. I was going up for college.
3 a.m., by the way.
Oh, at 3 a.m. Yeah, so it was me, Eric, and a buddy of ours. His name is Sean Yui. Everyone go spam and stalk Sean Yui. He needs it. It's good for him. So Sean provided the vehicle to get up there, but I did most of the driving. And I don't know.
He just provided the wheels, but there was no space for anybody else's shit.
Yeah, let's touch on that real fast. I'm still butthurt as shit over that, okay?
Yeah, remember, y'all talked me into going, and somehow I still get gypped out of space for my stuff.
Okay, so all three of us needed to fit all of our belongings
into this 2 bags.
Into an Elantra. Okay, so just imagine an Elantra, right? Just a small little car. It was probably a 2013, 2014 Hyundai Elantra. I believe it's Hyundai that makes them.
Yeah.
And anyway, we show up late, by the way. So Sean shows up late in the vehicle. So we've already been up for who knows how long. We're already getting into our sleep time. And then when he opens up the trunk door, it is packed. I remember literally having my crap in my hand and then seeing the trunk door open up, just filled with boxes. I mean, Sean packed this thing with everything but the sink from his house. Mm-hmm. The guitar, I don't know how many other boxes. I was like, damn, Sean, you need all of this? Every bit of it.
He packed his stuff, his mom's stuff, his sister's stuff.
Right.
Niece's stuff. The neighbor's stuff.
He packed for a family of 4. That was insane. All right. So we all pack up into a small Hyundai Elantra. Right, is it Hyundai? I don't remember what makes the Elantra
Yeah,
now.
I think it's a Hyundai, actually.
So anyway, we end up cramming our few things in the car. Like, had we packed an ounce more, that car would not have, it would have burst open at the seams. Yeah. Okay. So now it's bursted open, just like busting at the seams.
And my legs are cramped as hell, too, in the back of that car. Because it's a small car.
Well, because Sean gave us such little room to work with, it was even less room for whoever rode the back seat. And being a big dude, I was not going to ride in the back seat. I was like, screw this. I'll bite the bullet. I will drive the car all 13 hours. It's a 13-hour drive.
You did most of that, too.
Yeah. Oh, I did vast majority of it. Oh, yeah. It was between 1 and 3 a.m. we left. So we get going through. And let me just tell you, you want to get the most hostile place on earth besides war itself, be in a car with me and Eric. And we've been in there since 3 a.m. Any little noise we made was like, shut up. Shut your mouth.
I think actually
too damn early for that shit.
I think it's actually. I think when we left Modesto, it was about 4:00 a.m., 4:30ish a.m., and this is what I did just to be irritating.
I bet some people getting off to that right now. I'll keep going, Eric.
I just did it just to be obnoxious.
He did it. He just woke up from his nice little car nap, and I've been driving. Okay, now the sun's up, so I've been driving for at least almost 6 hours now, and he just starts going. I'm like, Eric, it's too damn early for that shit. Okay. So anyway, we drive for 13 hours. It was one of the longest car rides. It was hostile. The only fun part.
Fun.
No, the funnest part was the first hour because we're all joking around. We're still awake. After everyone started falling asleep, I just wanted to flip off everyone. I hated everyone in that car. I hated everyone who drove by me. Anyone who was in Rexburg, like, are you on your way? I just sent them like the flip off emoji because I wanted to be there already. All right, so we show up to Rexburg, Idaho. For a while, we all kind of fend for ourselves, getting a place to stay. And then we
remember that. By the way, thank you to your cousins for letting me crash at their place.
Great, because shout out to Casey and Leah. Oh my goodness, if it wasn't for them, we would not be alive today.
Right, I'd be living in a dumpster.
So we make it up to Rexburg, Idaho, after we've been staying with my cousins for a few days. And maybe me for like a couple weeks. I don't remember. This is kind of where you and Sean are on your own for a minute.
Yeah.
So Eric, tell me, just so the people know, I want to hear you talk a little more. So do you remember what the apartment complex was called?
Central Park?
Yeah,
right?
I think that was it.
Okay,
It was like,
yeah.
So
I can't believe I remember that. Central Park.
It was like a
place was ass as fuck. I'm sorry. In the moment, it was great.
Oh, it was awesome. That was a 5-star hotel.
Yeah, right. I think it was a hotel.
Oh, it
before.
was. Yeah, it was a hotel.
Then a restaurant, right?
Yeah, so it was a hotel. No, the restaurant was right next door. The Frontier Pies.
Yeah, Frontier. That was a good place. Heard it shut down. Actually.
It's aight. Yeah. So I just remembered that it was a hotel and then it became an apartment complex.
Yeah.
And we were in apartment. What was it? 1, 2, 3. I think that was it. I think we were apartment 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I can also remember too. There was a pool in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And there were plants around it. It looked really like
almost like at a Jumanji or like Jurassic Park.
I never used the pool though.
So it was kind of cool inside. It was humid inside because there were so many plants in a pool just right there in the middle. You're in everyone's space because it's cramped. So it was for a bunch of poor kids at the time. It was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Going a little bit about the apartment.
Oh boy. All right. So the apartment. Think of like, okay, you ever seen the movie Roots? Think of the slave ships on Roots.
No. Roots is the first thing you can think of when it comes to this.
That's how small it was. All right. Like brothers on a boat going straight across the Atlantic. You had me and Sean Huey, we're both, decently sized people. And a small apartment was like 600. How do you map that out?
It was not even near 600. No. Okay.
200
feet? It was a studio apartment, first of all. Just remember that. So it was a living room, bedroom kind of thing.
Yeah. So the living room, and here's the bedroom in the living room against the wall.
So the bedroom and living room are the same place.
Oh, yeah. And the kitchen was literally the bathroom.
Oh, it was right by the bathroom. That's right. Right by the bathroom. So
when you're cooking, I'm cooking too.
So when you got something hot in the kitchen, I got something hot in the toilet. So
making stew.
Making some beef stew. So I will never forget that. So you two were in that, and that was like a deal though at the time.
Oh, 600. Okay. It was 600 a month.
I have to admit, the funniest part of it all is that you guys were surrounded by married couples because it's a studio apartment. Who's going to live there with roommates? Us.
Right, yeah, us. Poor people. Yeah.
People who couldn't afford much back then. So we jumped on it so fast. I remember you guys got there first. And then it'd be like a month or two later, I joined in. So now you got 3 big dudes in a studio apartment.
And we should share beds too.
Oh, let's not get into that.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the least proud moments of my life. Mama, I'm sorry. I shared a bed with Eric. We had to. It was cold.
But don't worry, we didn't have relations.
Will you shut up? My mom. Okay, this is actually before I think you came out or anything like that. It was, yeah. So it was before we even knew.
Oh yeah, it was before I even knew. That's what happened. We were sleeping together.
No, we were sleeping next to each other.
That's the same thing. Yeah, it's y'all
So,
fault.
so me, you, and Sean Huey sharing a queen size bed. So you got 3 dudes all over 6 feet tall sharing a queen size bed. Now, eventually we got over that, and we were just like, nope. Like one of us will take the floor, and someone will take a small couch. Like that couch was like a love cushion, right?
Oh, yeah,
I think it was defined as love cushion or whatever they're called.
Someone made love to it.
Not yet.
Okay.
We ain't getting there yet. Okay, so getting into this now. There's 3 of us for a long time. Now, I was in and out a bit because when I was in college, I had dorms I could stay in, but then in between semesters, I had to come stay with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, for whatever reason, that studio apartment basically became a hotel in itself.
Well, we got all kind of strays. We got the Boston strays from Kentucky. We got the
Virginia,
strays. Everybody came in.
Okay, so let's just kind of paint a picture.
And the basic strays.
So just kind of, we'll get into that. So, okay, jumping straight into it, honestly, like the most people we had staying in that studio apartment were 5 men. 5 grown-ass men. Okay, all over the age of 20. And okay, so you and me and Sean at the time were doing rugby practice. Like you were off and on, but me and Sean would go regularly. Okay, so we already knew part of it smelled like a locker room. Okay, then there was Chris and
I forgot.
David.
Yeah, David. I also forgot too. Y'all dirty draws were always in the corners and shit.
Dirty draw. Don't put us out there like that. You had dirty draws out there too.
But I put my bag in the corner.
Okay, yeah. You were the clean one. Okay. So 5 people at one point stayed in this apartment. David is a friend of ours, and he would bring over these basic girls all the time.
They were really attractive. They weren't ugly.
No, they weren't, but they just had no personality at the time. And so they were always coming over.
Which, by the way, for the record, his new wife is nice.
We don't need to. Okay.
I like her.
Shout out to Macy.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Macy. She held it down. All right, what are you saying now?
So, again, basic bitches over every night. We smelled like a locker room. Our rugby cleats, our dirty drawers was everywhere. And all we had was one TV. Okay, so we all shared one shower, one small kitchen, and the one TV. Whereas, you had the Xbox and Sean, you had the PS4.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a lot of the same games getting played. Dying Light, Halo, The Last of Us.
That was the best one though. We treated that like a movie.
That was true. We were if Sean started playing The Last of Us without us in the room, we're like, you son of a bitch, you better go back and play it.
It was like that Naruto marathon we did.
Oh yeah, we did a Naruto marathon.
Yeah, it's like, bro, we need to make sure we're here for this.
And we, as you can tell, we were single during that time. As you can tell by us talking, we had no girlfriends and
virgins.
So, oh my gosh, just thinking about that. So watching Naruto all the time, playing video games, playing rugby. Oh, cocoa butter. Remember, we got everyone in on cocoa butter. So that's what it was. So if it didn't smell like a locker room, it smelled like someone, you walked into a bottle of cocoa butter. Oh, yeah. That's what it smelled like.
Forgot about the cocoa butter.
Yeah, was it St. Queen Helens or St. Helens?
Yeah, St. Helens. Yeah,
that's what it is.
St. Helens.
So cheap stuff.
Ankles. Yeah,
for them ashy ankles.
It was what, $5?
No, oh hell no. That was less expensive than that. Okay, so I'll never forget too. Something that was happening is that we had a few of us who were struggling to pull rent.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, you forgot about that.
I forgot about that. I blocked that out of my mind.
So Eric almost threw people through a wall. So anyone out there, if you're ever thinking about buying apartments, you're like, I need a good manager over these apartments. Get Eric. If they don't pay rent, they're going to hear about it. They're going to get roasted until they fall asleep every night.
Right. Every time you eat some dinner that you need, you got dinner money, but you don't got rent money.
Right. That's crazy that you got ramen money, baby. What was it, David? David, that's crazy. You got backpack money? You had backpack money?
Had a nice backpack.
It's you got backpack money, but where's my rent money? Oh, that was so funny. Just every night. For those people.
What's that? Big worm? No, it was a big worm from Friday. Where's my money, Smokey?
That's right. Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions, Smokey. So people struggling to pay rent. And so obviously there's 2 ways to pay. Cash or ass. Now, so we took it out. If you were struggling to pay your side of the rent, then you got roasted. That's how we took your ass. You got roasted mercilessly. Anything you got on you, you better hope you have a strong self-esteem in that moment. You were getting it.
Which, for the record, I feel like we all pretty much did. All right.
Everyone got roasted.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so when you get 5 dudes together in one room and they have to live together, and it's smelling like cocoa butter and locker room, cocoa butter and hot ass swirling around up in that place, like we were roasting each other. We were not nice.
Oh yeah, no, it was bad. Yeah.
I will still say I think it was more hostile in the car,
Oh,
but.
yeah.
No, there was one time I remember you hit me in the arm over something. I was like, oh, if I hit him back, it's going to start. I'm like, just walk away. I remember looking at you, like, walk away. I was about to go crazy. I was like, no, not here. I ain't doing this here. Okay.
Gosh.
Now,
you're right, though. We would go in on each other. You know, and it's funny you bring that up because I remember sometimes I'll think back, you know, very rarely. I'm just like, gosh, we were such assholes.
Oh, we were awful.
And Sean Huey was the only one who was
He's a
decent.
saint.
Yeah,
He's a
he
saint.
was nice.
He was one of the people who had like in the beginning, he struggled a little bit, so he got roasted. But later on, he became the most stable out of everyone.
Oh, yeah. Ended up getting married and going to the temple. And
no, that was all that good stuff, man. But one thing, too, is like during that time, he was one person who was always holding down a job.
Yeah.
I know I would do these part-time morning jobs while I was in school, and then I think I went to go work at a credit repair company, something like that. That's where you work too, I think.
Yeah.
And so
hated that job.
Yeah, we don't need to get into that.
Oh, gosh. I like the bosses though.
But yeah, just people in and out were just like struggling to pay rent. I just remember that, and we would get after them. Oh boy! Now we got to think. Now you know what story I'm about to get into, and it's time we get into this story. The viewers need to hear this story. Okay. Okay, but we got to think of a name, and we don't out the name. I'm telling you right now, I will find a way to blur it out if you say it. And so,
can you do that?
I can try.
That's actually pretty cool.
I really don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so just for the sake of it, we're around the 18-minute mark in case you miss out.
Oh, it's the 18-minute mark?
Yeah. So we got to think. We got to think of a name for him. Okay, so for a buddy of ours who did something,
Captain Splurge, Captain Bukaki.
Don't.
All right.
Don't you dare. Okay.
Nut.
So no, let's just call him
Bust.
Let's
Like
call
Busta
we'll call him
Rhymes.
Buster. We'll call him Buster.
Buster.
Okay, so Buster. All right, so we had a couple of buddies who were out at the time. Now we were not here for this moment. Thank heavens.
I was in Alaska.
I was in the aftermath. Oh, that's right. You went to Alaska for a couple months. So I was the aftermath. I literally showed up a little bit after. So we had but I heard in depth this story, okay? So Buster, our buddy Buster, he was sitting on the couch apparently, and no one was home. Our code was out to everybody. Like anyone who knew us knew the code to get into our apartment.
I forgot we had a code too.
Yeah, you had to use a code to get in. Oh. I almost remember it to this day.
What's the code?
I just remember it was like 734, and maybe it was 7347. I think that was it.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
I don't know why I remember that, but anyway.
Nostalgia kicking in.
Unfortunately, not this part. Okay, so Buster got into our apartment. He was just chilling. He was waiting for us.
Well, actually, wasn't he living there for a little bit too?
Okay. Oh yeah, for a bit he lived there. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. He did come in and out. Now anyway, with Buster, all we know is that he'd been at the apartment for a while, but we didn't know for what, like what he was doing. He was just waiting for us. Anyway, 2 of our buddies walk in, and they just say when they walked in, they see Buster sitting on the couch and he's panting heavy. Hey guys. How's it going? What are you guys doing? Apparently he looked like he was a little moist. He was a little moist.
It's a little bit.
So everyone, oh my gosh. So apparently like, hey man, like looking like he just ran 3 miles fully clothed in winter clothes. So eventually I think he went to the bathroom or Buster ended up leaving or something like that. And they're like, did he do what he think he was doing? All right. Well, this is where it gets good. Our poor buddy Sean, and Sean is a champion of the world. I'll stand by him through anything.
Patron saint.
Yes, he should be sainted. Sean sits down on the couch, and when he puts his arm on the armrest, he's like, lifts up his arm, and what does he find? Was Buster's baby gravy.
I can imagine the strings hanging from his arms.
Don't. I'm going to vomit if you do that. Don't. So Sean put his whole arm in this man's baby batter.
Those poor unborn kids.
Oh my gosh.
Continue.
And so Sean, being the saint he is, cleans all of it up. Cleans cleans up that couch.
It's a good thing he had Melaleuca products.
Dude, shout out to Melaleuca. If we could get a plug-in for Melaleuca, y'all cleaned up that couch. Kinda.
I didn't notice it when I got back a month later.
It's as clean as you could get it.
Just hit it with the black light.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no, never. So Sean ended up cleaning it up. About a month goes by, and no one has the balls to say anything to Buster about it. And finally, it was like you and we were in there with him. Like, hey, Buster, we got to ask you a question. Like, did you do this on our couch? And at first, his eyes went wide. Like, you ever catch a little kid in the act? So his eyes went wide. And then he's like, no, I didn't do that on your couch. And I remember we looked at him, just dead ass right into his eyes, like, Buster, it's okay. Like, just be honest with us. Did you do this? Have you, dude? I work with kids now. I even then I don't have to work that hard sometimes.
Right? Kids, they got no shame. They don't care. Honestly, they're pretty brave about it.
Oh my gosh, bro. So Buster eventually owns up to, like, yeah, I did that. I'm like, hey man, do you know that Sean put his arm in it? And he's like, what? No, none of it got on the couch. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, well, it wasn't Casper's jizz all over our couch. Like, what are you talking about? Did Casper come in here and watch a porno mag on our try to get our couch pregnant? So he's like, what? No, I shouldn't have gotten on the couch. And the fact that I'm even having this discussion about aim, can I just say that is the worst shit ever? That's the most awkward. We're discussing this man's aim. And I'm like, what kind of fire hydrant do you have to where you have no idea where it went?
Powerful, man.
Okay. So now for sure, anyone who even remotely respects us has probably gotten off the podcast by now. So that's okay. We're going to keep going.
Right. Might as well.
Oh my goodness. I just remember, like, when you finally admitted it to us, and we're just like, okay, just please, we have a shower. We have a toilet. We have a shower. Don't do it anywhere else.
Which, that's all it got me to this day. It's like, why not just use the shower?
Made too much sense. Okay. So another night in Rexburg. Moving on.
Oh, yeah.
So I lived in this apartment called North Point. That's what it was, North Point. Owned by the billionaire who owned Melaleuca.
Oh, that place. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice place.
Yeah, it was nice. And I remember it was one Halloween night. And again, because we have nothing better to do, we don't have girlfriends at the time. We were like, hey, man, like, it's a cold night. There's a bunch of grown-ass college kids just walking around being stupid. And like, that was the most annoying thing. They'd go around trying to be like, I don't know, just ruin everyone else's night. So we're like, let's get a few water balloons and let's go out water ballooning. Oh, yeah. Do you remember that?
I forgot about that.
We went water ballooning.
We did.
So we went around to Rexburg without a car. Can I just say how dumb that is now looking back at? Like, why didn't we have a car? Like, we didn't do that. Like, I remember our whole plan was like, okay, we run. Okay, what if they catch us? Okay, we turn around and fight. Like, over a water balloon. We were going to go throw hands with them. So we went around. Yeah, we're pieces of shit. Everyone's like, I can't believe they did that. We went around throwing water balloons at everybody. It was Halloween night. And that was the worst part. Like, the people we wanted to go after, like the real douchebags, like, we got some, but we did not only go after douchebags. We definitely just went after random people. I remember one guy, there was a guy just laying out in the middle of the field. So there was like, at this park, this really nice field. And he's laying out in the middle of it, probably looking at, he was looking at the stars. And, you know, maybe he's praying. I don't know what he was doing. But I remember we said, let's get his ass. So we're all dressed in dark clothes because we're in the park. And we launch water balloons. And it was a launch, too. Like, I remember we just threw them as hard as we can because he was far away and we wanted to stay in the tree line. Yeah. So we just threw them. And I'll never forget. Like, we ducked quick in there, like, into the darkness. And all I see is this guy get up. He yelled something. I don't remember what it is to this day what he yelled. And he just walked off. And I remember the way we finished that night was that we went to the top of North Point, waited for a group of friends to come by. Do you remember that? We each had we had 2 water balloons. Yeah. It was like everyone's last 2 water balloons.
Bomb the ass.
We went to the top of North Point. And as they came by, we were like, all right. And we threw them. We were like, screw everybody. And we dipped. We threw that and we dipped. We were cowards. We should have just stayed and like, yep, that was us.
Fade. But let's fade it out.
Throw hands if you got a problem. Might be able to catch me, but you can't beat my ass.
Right? Can beat my ass, though. Gosh.
So good. Oh, my goodness.
Yo, tell them about the story about the... was it the swings that we went to when you just totally cock blocked that kid?
Okay.
Straight cock blocked him.
Okay, so I want people to know something about Idaho. Okay, this is a strange people. Okay, they're a different breed. So do you know like how average human beings, if we want to make out with someone or, you know, have fun with them, we go to our rooms or our own apartments or any other place of privacy that we own.
Yeah.
Well, in Idaho, they don't do that. They drive out to potato fields. They walk out into the middle of those potato fields because it's so dark you can't see them. And the way the roads are positioned, your headlights would never see them either. Like your headlights would never hit them.
Yeah, so it's weird. So if you really think about it, it's kind of a crazy concept. Literally, like you mentioned, you have this space called your place where you pay rent in this college town, and you drive 20 minutes outside of the city limits, go to a potato field.
Hey, you tell me right there though, that man needed something that night. Hey, like I've said it before, we're all just squirrels trying to get a nut. Right. And I can't hate on him. Okay, he's a Mormon dude. He's trying to do the right thing. I don't know why it makes it better in potato field, but so you go out in the middle of potato field and you make out and or do whatever else you're gonna do. Whatever, I ain't gonna judge you. You're doing it, but if you're doing it amongst potatoes, you clearly have no shame or all the shame. I don't know what maybe there's a difference. So we go out to this swing set at night. So
by the way, it's a haunted swing set.
Yeah, it's a haunted swing set.
Something white folk in Idaho like doing.
I know, it was stupid.
I don't get
it was
that.
so dumb. Everyone's like, it's a haunted swing.
And I'm the dumb nigga who followed.
The house brother.
Exactly. I don't know why I did that.
So I remember we showed up and everyone's like, yeah, there's been times I've gone and it just starts moving on its own. Like a little girl swinging on it.
Like, why would you want to go to this then?
Yeah, right? Why are you spending time here? Oh my gosh, I can't. So anyway, we end up going because a bunch of friends talk us into it. And of course, it's nothing. It's just a swing set in the middle of nowhere. But we see this car pull in to the potato field next to us. They get out of their car and they walk so far into the potato field. Well, we're being obnoxious now. Like we're on one. Like we're already being stupid.
We used to call it going out stupid.
Yeah, we'd go out stupid.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this man thinks he's about to have a good night. He thought again. I'm sorry, you thought.
Look who's here.
I hope you're watching this because you said something to me that night I will never forget. To the man we cock blocked. You said something to me I will never forget. Okay. So we're being obnoxious. We're yelling at them. We're like, hey, what y'all doing out there? Hey, don't slip too much tongue. Jesus still sees you in the potato field. We were yelling all sorts of stuff. We were being awful. We were awful human beings back then. And anyway, he walks back, him and his girlfriend or girl at the time. They get into the car, but he opens up his car door. And right as he's about to step in, he looks at us and he goes, I hope all of you get lupus. And he gets in his car and he drives away. And I'm like, lupus? That's what you got? Like, I remember yelling back, like, that man is so bitter. Like, he wished lupus on us. Not cancer, not death, not AIDS, not STDs, lupus.
Hope you get lupus.
I hope you get lupus.
You bastard.
You grimy bastards. Oh my gosh.
It's all about delivery. And I feel like he delivered it pretty well.
Oh, that was great. Like, you would have thought he had written that down. That was comedy gold. Like, we were mostly taken back. Just like, did he really say lupus? I don't think I've known anyone who's had lupus.
I hope you get the itis.
The itis. Okay. Now, that was something else that night. So there's something else about Rexburg. And I don't know if this is true. I wasn't there at the time. So there is an apartment complex there called the Ivies. Okay, but it was nicknamed the HIVs because of what took place there. I feel like I'm whistling a lot on accident. This gap ass teeth.
Herbert the pervert.
Hey there, young man. So, the HIVs. That was the name of this apartment. It sounds gross already. Okay, apparently, I don't know if this is true,
But the service is great.
but
apparently.
yeah, the service. I've heard this story so many times. The details are always the same. It's either this is a really well passed around rumor or this happened.
I believe it.
It was a thing in Rexburg, probably back in 2010 is my assumption, because it was like a couple years before we got there. That if in the Ivies, if you posted a tennis racket in your window, that was a sign for people to come and, well, visit you and give you nighttime pleasure. And they're like, wait, what are you talking about? There was a prostitute ring, okay, in this Mormon city the HIVs is why they got called this. There was a prostitute ring, and they knew you were down for business if you put a tennis racket in your window and they would come to your door. And they got found out. Apparently, I don't know if this is true, but this is just what I heard. They got found out because, Mormons believe in paying 1/10 of whatever you make. Well, you ain't supposed to pay 10% on money you shouldn't be making. Money you already shouldn't be making, don't pay on it.
Paying for the ass deductibles.
You're paying an ass deductible. Okay, so they got paid for doing their nighttime service.
That's proper,
Mm-hmm. Getting paid for their service.
Wow.
And then, they went to go pay tithing. And so the bishop's like the guy who runs the ward at the time, or runs the sermons in the moment. He knows they don't have any jobs. And he goes up to one of them and is like, how are you paying tithing? You don't have a job. Well, one of them broke and said,
snitches.
I know, right? Snitch. Why we can't have nice things? Really? We can't even have some snoo.
That's all I want.
Hey, let's do that. Anyone who can guess what snoo is from in the comments, boy, what should we give them? There should be a little reward for that if they can guess what snoo is.
I think $20.
$20.
That's 10 each, Tom. That's not breaking the bank.
Okay. If the first person on YouTube comments to put down the show where snoo is from, we will direct message you. We will get a hold of you and we will give you $20. Okay. Right there. There we go. We're sunk in it. Snoo. So these girls are giving some snoo at night, paid tithing on it, and got caught up because one of them sold out, one of them snitched, and then boom, that's it. That's history. Got caught up. So now it's just a thing. That's why it's called the HIVs, because they had a prostitute ring. Something this little Mormon town did have was a crack ring. It was a drug ring. I was on my mission. Okay, I was gone at the time.
Oh, wait.
So I got to tell you something about this, though. I don't think I've even told you this. Okay, about 6 months before it was longer than that, almost a year before I even left on my mission. I was dating someone at the time, and I caught him checking out her ass. And I was in a bad mood that day. I was legit this close to just calling him out, like, hey, bro, look at my ass instead. Like, what you staring at so hard? His eyes were bugging. I'll never forget that. This man's eyes were bugging out of his head, checking out the girl's in, like checking out her ass.
Well, she was thick.
All right. Well, anyway.
3 C's.
All right, man.
Not that I've looked. I've just noticed.
Thank you. Yes, I'm an ass man. If that helps you. Okay. So I remember I never forgot his face, and his eyes were bugging out of his head. Okay. Fast forward on my mission. Okay. We get cell phones or on Facebook. Every so often you get on Facebook, check stuff out. And I see drug ring busted in Rexburg, Idaho. I was like, oh, shoot. Heck yeah. I was just there. I look at some of the people, and there was the dude. He was one of the people. Because I'll never forget those bugging eyes. When he took that picture, he was like,
he was on that shit.
Yeah, you could tell he was on it right then and there. He was on the crack. Okay? Get off the rock, people. It is not good for you.
Oh, man. It's funny how Rexburg has turned into something crazy.
It shouldn't have.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to.
Exactly. Supposed to be a quiet little Mormon town. No, people want to get buck wild, whore themselves out.
Oh my god.
Do drugs. Dude, remember that dude who snuck into the girls' locker room and got caught?
Oh.
You knew him, right?
No. Okay. So that was another instance. So there was someone, I didn't know him either, by the way. There was a guy who went around in Rexburg, Idaho. He had planted many cameras in a girl's bathroom. So there's boys and girls dorms. He was friends with some of the girls. He went over and he planted many cameras in their bathroom. And I didn't know him, but his sister-in-law, that's how I knew him. Or kind of knew him. His sister-in-law at the time was trying to get at me. And she was trying to date me at the time. And I'll never forget. I was like, man, did you guys hear about this? Like a dude right around this area, like in their apartment complex got busted. And she went, yeah, that's my brother-in-law. I was like, what? Like, no way. Like, wow. Okay. Well, so that's the closest I got to that. You're just your regular stalker, creeper stuff,
Yeah.
Everyone just needs to look at you now and then. No, I'm kidding. Not like that. Don't do that.
Don't be a Herbert the pervert. Oh, God.
You'll have the ogre in the ass coming after you.
Not like the ass, all right?
No.
Don't test me.
No. Yeah, you don't know what he's capable of. Oh my goodness. So
I got a question for you, though.
okay, go ahead.
Why do you think Rexburg is the way that it is?
Bro. Okay, because here's the problem. It's a bunch of horny, sexually suppressed people living in such a small area.
That makes sense.
And the problem is like, and this is one of my things now. I'm going to be straight up honest. I'll just kind of talk about it. I don't really like dating Mormons anymore because I run into this problem. They're not straight up about stuff. Okay.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. And I know they're like, I can't believe Thomas would say that. They're like, some of my Mormon friends probably watching this, and that's fine. Or family. And one of the things that bugged me was that, like, they would, okay, for those of you who don't know the culture, if you date a Mormon, you better expect to throw out a ring within 3 to 6 months. Okay?
Shit, more like 3 months.
3 to 6 months, you better have a ring prepared with a job that's a 401k.
Oh, yeah.
At 21 years old.
Right. Great genes.
That's right. Great genes.
Gosh. Great lineage. Dating back to Brigham Young, you know.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. You have to be able to track your lineage back to Brigham Young or Joseph Smith. Preferably Brigham Young. Right. What it seems like. If you want to get into one of his schools.
And you got to give it a hell of a testimony every Sunday. You know?
That's right. If you aren't like actively crying in your testimony, like you ain't shit on a stick.
Right.
You know,
I
you
want to see
shit.
Emotions.
Right. Let me feel that Jesus loves you. So one of my issues that I was always having was that it was always just a rush, man. Like, such a problem. As if they're like your second date with people and they would be either bearing their testimony to you on a date. I'm like, gosh, man, like
so cringy. I'm
just trying to eat my food. Like, okay, we can pray. That's great. Like, I got nothing against that, but can we please just eat our food? Like, I know I'll wait till Sunday.
Yeah.
Man, wait any other moment, but on a date, you got to start bearing your testimony. All right, cool. Well, for whatever reason, I think because maybe that's just the culture of, if they think you're spiritually strong, they really want you. And to an extent, it is. Yeah. It is true. But it's like in the middle of a date, don't bear your testimony. I don't care. For those of you who don't know what it means to bear a testimony, it's talking about why you know that your religion is true. So that's them saying like, I know God is real.
It's like a mating call.
Oh my gosh. That's true. You bear your testimony. It's a mating call. I didn't even think about that. Get the Mormon call. Believe the church is true. That's all you have to do. Go ahead.
Church is true. All right.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, we're probably going to get roasted now. People think we're making fun of it. It's okay. We'll take it. Take this on the chin.
But that's okay, though, because we can roast ourselves, too.
Golly. Oh, yeah. Did we make mistakes up there?
Oh, yeah.
I'll never forget. I'm not going to act like I wasn't a horn dog up there. The heck? I'm a young 20-year-old in a college town. What do you think is going to happen?
Away from my parents, too, you know?
Mom? You're going to be disappointed.
I done sinned.
No. Actually, I'll never forget that. So my mom came up to visit me when I was up at college. And she was wondering, she asked, why were you out the night before? I was like, Mom, I was with a girl. I was making out with a girl. And she's like, are you still worthy to go on a mission? Because I hadn't gone yet. And I'm like, yes, Mom, I'm still worthy. And she just does this. Okay. Gives me the fist bump. I'm like, oh. So it's one time she was kind of cool about it.
Gosh, that's funny.
All right. All in all, moving up to Rexburg, I think it was a good phase of our life. We needed it. We got some stories from it. And there's definitely some we did not tell here. Oh, golly. But, the time I almost got in a fight with 4 different dudes. I remember that.
Actually, you should tell that story. Because also, too, I remember McCall. I actually like that story. The McCall story.
Oh, how you got her set up?
Yeah. So and by the way, I didn't know that was going to happen.
Well, okay. What I think is crazy. So Eric, if you are someone and you're wondering is there someone out there for me? I need a matchmaker. Get the ass. Okay. The ass right here, Eric. He is somehow good at being a matchmaker. Now, we had a friend named McCall. And I think she just got out of a bad breakup or something, a couple months earlier.
Yeah. She was supposed to get real quick leading up to that story. She was supposed to be married. And it was already been set up for months on end. So October comes around the corner, and I want to say a few weeks beforehand, the guy calls her up and says, "Hey, I can't do this. Insert reason, whatever." And she's like, "Are you sure? I can still help you out. We can support each other. I still love you." He's like, "I just want to call it off." So that's a few weeks before the marriage, before the wedding.
So getting it canceled a couple weeks before, that's just bad.
Oh yeah, especially for a Mormon too. That's marriage is big in our culture.
Oh yeah,
big.
And I just remember you said, who was the dude? I never met him.
His name was Judd. I actually remember the name.
Let's not give his last name, but yeah.
Yeah. I forgot his last name. But Yeah, he was out there. So in Rexburg, there's a place called the Dunes. It's pretty much like, think of like Tatooine if you're a Star Wars fan, and that's pretty much it. It's deserts all around Rexburg, and a lot of people there on Fridays and on the weekends they'll go out there and hang out and chill, do campfires.
That was fun.
Oh yeah, the Dunes were great.
We went shooting out there.
Oh yeah, Dunes were great. Yeah, and I remember I was just like, Dunes is a good place to find dudes. Whatever. And so I go, not that I would know, but anyway.
Not that I was looking.
But anyway, I go out to this random fire that I see.
Later.
I know, right? And I go out there, check it out. And I approach this dude. He looks like a really nice guy. And I made sure, too, I was very, picky and prejudiced when I picked him up. He has to be really attractive. He has to be really down to earth. And he was a Southern, SoCal dude, but very nice. He had like a country feel about him. So he wasn't like one of those yuppies from down south. Oh, yeah,
for real.
And I talked about, McCall. And I said, hey, this is what happened with her, and I'm not trying to set you up. I'm just saying, show her a good time. Show her that there are decent men out there, give him that whole spiel. And I gave him the number and he's like, okay. And I kid you not, because I want to say 7-8 months later, I ended up moving to Georgia for pest control.
Oh, that's right. We left. We left Rexburg finally.
Exactly. And I didn't think much of it. I left it, to myself. Like, oh, whatever. Okay. She's probably good now. And so anyway, she calls me as I'm, knocking doors, selling pest control. And she tells me, hey, remember that guy you set me up with? He said, yeah. What happened? She said, yeah, he proposed. We're getting married soon. I was like, oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Eric's a matchmaker, man. You gotta trust it.
I mean, with that said, I'd be careful though too. I got some duds out there too.
Okay, well, you got some duds, but here's usually the issue. Okay, so if you're a matchmaker, Eric, what I will say is, and what I've noticed, I've never let Eric do matchmaking for me. Maybe I should.
I mean, I would be very picky though.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'd give you a female who you'd feel uncomfortable with because she's way more attractive than you.
Okay, and
that's someone you can get though.
Okay, so Eric does have this thing about him where if you were the dude, you're probably like a solid 4 or 5. Clearly, you're probably a solid 4 or 5. But he will try to get you a girl who's so almost disgustingly out of your league. It's like, dude, I don't stand a chance out here.
It's like Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Oh my gosh. It is. It's like Jay-Z and Beyonce. It's like, what is he doing with her? He must have a big wallet.
Huge.
Okay. And so now, not all of those were successful. He had a couple duds too, but that was still fun. Well, you know what, Eric? We've had a fun time talking about this. And again, there's still some more stories we could get into. I think doing these story times are something we should keep doing because this is too much fun. Reminiscing, bringing things back. And for everyone listening to us, we hope you enjoyed this time now. We love sharing parts of our life, like what brought Eric and I so close together to be best friends. And definitely we hope that you receive some sort of enjoyment from this. And there are some stories out there. Yep, we disappointed some people. But maybe you will look at these stories too and you'll listen to this and think, oh, thank heavens I'm not them. I thought I had it bad, but thankfully I wasn't stuck in a studio apartment with 5 dudes smelling like locker room and cocoa butter.
Right.
Trying to get couches pregnant.
Living like Roots.
We'd even be singing hymnals in there. Wade in the water. Wade. Oh, no. It was so bad. It would get so hot, too. I will not forget that.
That window was our best friend. Until the winter hit.
Okay, no, I'm not going to lie. When the winter hit, I still cracked it open because it was so hot in that apartment. 5 dudes, man.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And that's true. I don't want to get too much into it. Never mind. I'd had something come to mind, but I'm not talking about that. That's the only thing that gets me. You got to imagine with 5 dudes, it was almost like playing a game of Russian roulette of who are you going to walk in on doing something sus. Because you had to imagine 5 dudes. There's someone who woke up with morning wood and it's just like, you got to think. Someone did.
Guilty.
All I ask, listen, if you are in our position and you were with a bunch of dudes in a studio apartment, go take a shower. Mm-hmm. If you got to go do that, just go take a shower.
Wash your ass. Yes, please.
Right. Judas Priest. Anyway, guys, thanks again for listening to us. This is the Ogre in the Ass podcast. And like always, until next time, stay the hell out of our swamp.